This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, a campaign by Dunedin City Councillor Jules Radich to return the groins to Dunedin's Ocean Beach is progressing. A Dunedin musician and event coordinator was surprised when he received a citation today. And a Wanaka metalworker is using steel and copper to create large metal sculptures. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Darryl Baser. A campaign by Dunedin City Councillor Jules Radich to return groins to Dunedin's Ocean Beach took another step forward yesterday. Radich is asking the council to write a report on his plan to reinstate groins as a method of reducing beach erosion.
Walking along Dunedin's St Clair Beach, City Councillor Jules Radich is pushing for the council to consider rebuilding what many mistake as an old jetty, but is actually an old sand trap.
In my research, the groins that were here protected this seawall that I'm standing on and the whole of Ocean Beach for the last 100 years, or 100 years from 1902 when they built the first ones, right up until about the year 2000.
It's estimated rebuilding the timber groin could cost around $100,000.
I'm very keen to see this wooden groin reinstated at very low cost, because I feel quite in peril of the forthcoming winter, because we had very heavy winter storms in 2007 and then again in 2013, and by observation of symmetry we're due again in 2020. And if we get a similar winter storm of that magnitude this coming winter, then we could have $1 to $2 million worth of damage done, and in particular to the landfill at Kettle Park.
Other suggestions to fight beach erosion range from the construction of a new seawall or rock groins to the removal of the old landfill and allowing a natural dune system to return.
This single wooden groin is not the whole answer for all of Ocean Beach. It is simply well, you might call it an experiment, but it's a rebuilding of something that has been proven to work for 100 years. Right before our very eyes, it would build up the sand all around it over many acres, just as the very first groins did in 1902. Yesterday,
the council voted in favour of commissioning a report to assess Radich's dream of rebuilding the wooden groin. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Councillor Lee Vandervis is vowing to continue to use his loud voice despite being censured by his colleagues. This follows a complaint against the Dunedin City Councillor for aggressive behaviour towards a staff member.
Councillor Houlihan. Councillor Lafiso. Aye. Councillor Lord. Aye. Councillor O'Malley. Aye. Councillor Radich. Aye.
Councillors at yesterday's meeting voted unanimously 13 to 0 to issue Councillor Vandervis with a written censure for his conduct. The vote came after they accepted the findings of an independent investigation which found Vandervis had been loud, aggressive and intimidating toward a staff member in September. The report said Lee Vandervis had become increasingly angry while trying to get a parking ticket waived. Lee Vandervis said he was trying to report a malfunctioning meter, not disputing a $12 parking ticket. Vandervis told yesterday's meeting he believes the complaint against him was politically motivated. A Dunedin musician, event coordinator and teacher was pleasantly surprised to receive a citation from the Dunedin Public Library today. The award is part of the annual morning tea for volunteers and library staff and recognises an individual who's gone the extra mile.
The happy face of a well-kept secret which completely took Dunedin event coordinator Brendan Christie by surprise. As he approached the stage, Dunedin City Councillor Marie Laufiso shares some of the reasons why he's this year's citation recipient.
The tireless dedication to creating annual Music Month celebrations in the libraries and for innovative and imaginative events that bring people joy in library nooks and crannies.
He was gifted an artwork by Dunedin artist Lynn Taylor, which is a series of prints based on his life as a musician, which, along with the surprise, left him unusually lost for words.
I had no idea this was going. I just thought I was playing a gig out in the lobby.
Around 70 people attended the Dunedin Public Library's Christmas get-together, complete with Christmas carols and a vast array of food. A while later, Christie regained his composure, saying he was blown away with the piece of art he received as part of the citation.
I had no idea. They'd managed to keep it pretty covert by inviting me to play some music, and then, I've been invited to the morning tea before, and it's always a great event. But I had absolutely no idea that this was going to happen.
The council says the citation recognises the valuable contribution of writers, artists, researchers, sponsors and others to the libraries. Brendan Christie is keen to thank all the many volunteers that make the events run.
A lot of good people. Kay Mercer, who's the event coordinator at the library. There's Stephen Hillman, who works at the Otago Polytechnic and helps video pretty much every performance. We have a tremendous support from a bunch of volunteer photographers, Adam Binns and Paul Allen among them.
He says plans for Nook and Cranny 2020 are already underway, and he's looking at bringing industry professionals to the city to share their expertise. Dunedin Public Libraries say the citation is awarded to a local resident who's made a long and outstanding contribution to the library's collections, services or programs. In Dunedin, the South Today.
The Fortune Theatre building in Dunedin is set to remain unused for the immediate future. The former church on Stewart Street has been unoccupied since mid-last year when the Fortune Theatre company closed due to being financially unviable. The building is owned by the Dunedin City Council, which says it will consult the public before any action is taken. The council says there are currently no plans about the building's future, but it hopes to have the next steps confirmed sometime next year. Some minor maintenance is being carried out, including repairs to a broken window, tidying garden plots and cleaning gutters. A Wanaka metalworker is able to transform the shape of a delicate puff of a dandelion head into sturdy steel. He says his trial and error approach has taught him many techniques over the years.
A series of very happy accidents and a history of metalwork fabrication is helping to shape the work of Wanaka artist Scott Johnson.
It's all by accident and experimenting, just playing with things, and things might drop on the floor and you just go, oh, that's easy. So it's, trial and error, which is, I suppose, is how you work it all out.
Johnson predominantly works with metal and says his work covers many aspects of beauty, from wearable arts to gravestones and furniture.
Yeah, like if you're doing furniture, it's got to be right for the right place, because I just do one-off stuff like that. So it's got to be part of where you're putting it in the landscape or in the house, etc.
He says his work is more about the shape and form of the creations and initially less about how they're constructed.
Yeah, I think the engineering's secondary. It's just making the looks. The engineering's the easy part for me because I'm an engineer. I can suss out how it works underneath and just make it look and work well on the outside.
He says many of his works these days are dreamt up and paid for by others.
Mostly commissions, but I like having my own ideas going in the background, so I'm always working on a couple of things.
Some of his outdoor sculptures play with the material form, transforming copper, stainless steel and iron into delicate forms like a dandelion seed head which sways in the wind. In Wanaka, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, we have a look at a few of the Santa parades from across the South. See you after the break.
It's that time of year when we all spend time with our family and friends. Please enjoy Christmas, but keep an eye out for the people who are struggling and may need a helping hand. My office closes on the 20th of December, opens on the 13th of January. Have a great summer, a great Christmas.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Lana Castle is proud to showcase their new retail space. Simply purchase an annual garden pass for year-round access to the garden, cafe and gift shop, or apply for a host card giving you full access to the castle, ballroom, cafe, gift shop and garden when accompanied by a full paying guest. Check out the website for full terms and conditions.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Merry Christmas everyone. Have a happy and safe new year from everyone at Garrador Dunedin.
No mai anō, welcome back. Over the month, we've been bringing you Christmas parades from around the region. Last week saw both Bluff and Kaiapoi celebrate the season with festive processions to entertain both young and old.
Santa Claus came to the North Canterbury town of Kaiapoi on Sunday, with the procession being led by the City of Christchurch Highland Pipe Band, followed by the Kaiapoi Volunteer Fire Brigade, which will be celebrating its 150th anniversary next year. The local Kaiapoi Borough School shared the parade with invaders who had dropped in from a galaxy far, far away. And Thunderbirds were all the go with the Kaiapoi Rock and Roll Club, as well as a good representation from enthusiasts of two-wheeled machines. Youth clubs, as well as rugby clubs such as the Northern Bulldogs Rugby League Club, took part in the procession, with the Clown Police Patrol keeping revellers in check. Dance schools and the Kaiapoi Brass Band were also part of the procession. Santa Claus brought up the rear of the parade and will be back for another parade at nearby Oxford this coming Sunday. And last Sunday in the Deep South saw hundreds attend Christmas in the Bluff, a street parade followed by a gala day at the Oyster Festival site. Dozens of floats and vehicles represented a wide range of community groups, with the event open to all.
Anyone and everyone who wants to be part of the parade was welcome to join.
After the parade, families were invited to the gala event with live music plus food and craft stalls.
So it doesn't finish with the parade. We go down to the Oyster Festival site and people join in the free family fun day of games, Santa photos, all provided by Christmas in the Bluff.
In Kaiapoi and Bluff, the South today.
And hundreds of people of all ages lined the streets of Ashburton recently to take in the Mid-Canterbury Centre Parade. Buskers also began a series of concerts entertaining the public with Christmas carols.
Ashburton's annual Hyundai Mid-Canterbury Santa Parade was enjoyed by preschoolers, primary school children and adults alike. Church groups, sports clubs and cultural groups were amongst those taking part, some riding on floats and some in cars from close on 100 years ago. Two musical groups were featured in the parade, the Ashburton Pipe Band, who led the parade, as well as the Ashburton Silver Band. And of course, Santa turned up at the back of the parade, sitting on a new sleigh, beautifully made by Ashburton man Sandy Johns and sponsored by Ray White Real Estate. Santa was joined by a team of elves and fairies, as well as festive and famous characters and scores of people from within the Mid-Canterbury community. But Christmas cheer in Ashburton is not over yet, with the first of two Christmas busker nights presented by the Ashburton Courier at Baring Square East last Friday. The two evenings are designed to bring a festive spirit with live music and a sausage sizzle to the people of Ashburton. Along with the large range of musical acts was the Ashburton Blues Brothers Alcohol Harm Reduction Band, keen to remind people to think about drinking and driving during the Christmas period. Solo performers included the dulcet tones of Ocean Waitokai and the Jingle Bells choral singers,
hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Plus performers from Dance Works, as well as dancers from Ages Alive Ash Vegas. The second and last buskers night is set for the Friday before Christmas, starting at 6:30 p.m. In Ashburton, the South Today.
And after the break on the South Today, we continue our month-by-month review of the year in news. Tonight it's going to be May, and we'll see what's in the weather for the weekend. See you after the break.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life. Say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274.
Step into Shop on Carol and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
In my young life, I've learned how to accept Christmas is a great time for all the family and friends to get together. There's no harm in indulging in a little bit of alcohol and food. What we've got to realise is you need to moderate in everything you do in life, so we don't over excess anything to create problems in your life. So I wish you a great happy new year and a prosperous 2020.
Hi there, it's that time of year again, and we're proud to bring you the coverage of the Santa Parade, starring me and lots of others. Brought to you by the good people at Alex Campbell.
Thanks for staying with us. In the lead up to Christmas, we're looking back at the year in news with the highlights over the last 12 months. In May, preserved moa footprints were discovered in the south, and a level crossing for an historic steam train in Oamaru was improved.
Moa footprints, up to 4 million years old, were discovered in May in the Kyburn River by local man Michael Johnson.
You can just see the wee shelf with the one footprint on it, and you look a little bit more, you can see another one.
A few days later, the prints were carefully cut out of the soft rock to be preserved at the Otago Museum.
We've been fighting the river, the pump, the inflow through the gravel, and we've finally started to get some progress on lifting them.
The public are now able to view the moa footprints as they dry out in the museum.
Quail Rise, Tuckers Beach, Slipway, open!
Queenstown Mayor Jim Bolt officially opened Frankton's new slip road, allowing safer access for right-turning Quail Rise and Tucker Beach commuters. The opening was a culmination of 5 years' work.
It's really great to see it in the last 6 months, to see it all coming together, to see the how such a simple idea, how complicated it turned out to be, but it's really great that it's open now, and I'm just can't wait to drive my own car up and have a go.
Traffic was also made safer at a railway crossing in Oamaru to make train trips easier for the local Steam and Rail Society.
Automation of the bells and arms, so we don't have to have a man stand out in the street, and would also stop cars running through by putting barrier arms there to stop it.
And southern motorists noticed climbing petrol prices with the cost of fuel at its highest in 6 months. The average national price for 91 octane was $2.37, not much more than what it is now. Near the end of May, thousands of Dunedin school pupils took part in a climate change protest, with many other protests following throughout the year.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. A campaign by Dunedin City Councillor Jules Radich to return groins to Dunedin's Ocean Beach took another step forward yesterday. A Dunedin musician, event coordinator and teacher was surprised to receive a citation from Dunedin Public Library. And a Wanaka metalworker is able to transform the delicate puff of a dandelion head into sturdy steel. He says his trial and error process works well. Time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. Welcome, Mr. Stu Oldham. How you doing, bud?
G'day, Darryl. Looking well?
Well, thanks.
Oh, well, tomorrow we're looking at the Southern DHB. They've sent a letter out to their consultants. It seems a few specialists in the ophthalmology department have been seeing their private patients and then referring them into the public health system, which, well, it tends to clog things up a bit, but also, too, you're not supposed to mix both worlds. So specialists are allowed to work privately while they work for the DHB. That's good as gold. However, they have to ensure that they are seeing their patients within that sphere. They've been told to maintain the public-private divide. No one's Everyone's been disciplined though, so this has gone out for the entire lot of specialists across all of departments, so that they understand what they should be doing. We're also at the University of Otago graduation today, where there's some remarkable photos and footage of the graduands marching. There's about 1,500 people walking down George Street. Yes. Not all of them were graduating though. Turns out 360 of them were. The rest of them were supporters. So this is a whole new phenomenon that's starting to develop around the procession into the hall. We've also got the lads from the White Island tragedy. It continues to be quite an evolving situation. Right now, experts are telling us that there is the chance of new eruptions. Police continue to wait to begin the grim task of removing the bodies that are there. We've got stories about the survivors. We've got stories about the aftermath, the concerns there are about why people were on the island in the first place, and also more news about those that are being treated in our currently overstretched burns units. We've also got coverage of the selection of the new All Blacks coach, who is, surprise, surprise, assistant coach Ian Foster. His lack of success with the Chiefs means that plenty of people, perhaps you included, would wonder why he's been selected for the job. New Zealand Rugby reckon they've made the right choice. At the same time, they've only given him a 2-year contract, which isn't enough to send through to the next World Cup. We're also talking to another chap in Dunedin who didn't want to be an All Black when he was a kid. Len Anderson wanted to be a lawyer since he was 9 years old, go figure. He's been practising for 44 years now, and he's now a Queen's Counsel. So he's one of only 8 around the country and only one appointed in the past year for the South Island.
Brilliant. What an excellent yarn. All that and much more in tomorrow's ADT.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, that's you. Appreciate that. Time now for a quick look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the southern view, a freight train rumbles along heading north from Dunedin. Looking at the situation, cloud increases tomorrow as a low pressure system develops in the eastern Tasman Sea, then rain follows on Friday with cooler southwesterly winds. Heading to the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are set for a cloud or two with 21 degrees. Heading down to Canterbury, you'll have some cloudy skies across this area. Kaikoura 18 degrees, Christchurch you're due for 19, and Ashburton you're set to be the warmest on 22. The southern towns, Balclutha, the Catlins, Lumsden and Gore can all expect northwesterlies with cloud increasing. The Catlins heads for 16 while Balclutha and the rest head for 18 degrees. Heading to central Otago, you're set for moderate northwesterlies and cloud increasing. Wanaka and Queenstown should get 19, Alexandra 23, and Te Anau you should plan for fresh northwesterlies with rain later and 16 degrees. Heading to the northern towns, Timaru you can expect fresh northeasterlies, clear skies and 19 degrees, while Maru you're in for fresh northeasterlies, some cloud and 17. Twizel and Omarama can both expect moderate northwesterlies and 22 degrees. In Dunedin, mostly cloudy tonight, looking at an overnight low of 12 degrees. Low cloud at first tomorrow before the sky clears, a high of 16, a low of 13. Cloudy with periods of rain on Friday as colder southwesterlies develop, a high of 15 and a low of 9. And in Invercargill, mostly fine tonight with an overnight low of 12 degrees. Fine tomorrow with sunny periods, although some cloud with moderate westerlies and rain developing at night. A high of 16 and a low of 11. Rain eases to showers on Friday with fresh cool southwesterlies, a high of 14 and a low of 9. And that's all from the South Today team for this Wednesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.